have a quorum present.
Next item.
B, chair's remarks.
I have none for this meeting. Next
C,
item.
approval of the June 21st, 2023 meeting minutes.
Approval, Mr. Chair.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Next item.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Okay, next item.
E, new business. Moving to item 2, forwarding a copy of the Office of Legislative Auditor General's Financial Assessment Limited Review Report for the Wayne County Land Bank Corporation's audited financial statements for the fiscal years ended September 30th, 2022.
Okay, I'd like to welcome our Auditor General, Ms. Cora, her staff, Mindy, and before I continue, could we just thank Mindy for her service? Because I'm hearing it's going to be coming to an end in a few months. And anyway, for what it's worth, we will miss you, and I will not lower the flags to half staff. Thank you. Okay, moving right along, Ms. Oh, yes, Ms. Cora, I'd like for you to introduce your staff, your guest, and please proceed.
We have guests from Land Bank. We have our Honorable Treasurer. If you could join us. Oh, they're already there. Marcy Carl, Auditor General, and I'll have staff and then our guests introduce themselves.
Yes, I'm Eric Sabreed, Wayne County Treasurer and Chair of the Land Bank.
I'm Anthony Cartwright, Executive Director of the Land Bank.
As Sherelle indicated, this is our Land Bank Corporation's audited financial statement. This is a financial assessment that our office does for the audited financial statements, and this is for fiscal year ending September 30th, 2022. So I'm going to turn over to Mindy and Tim Small, and they'll go through the presentation.
We'll start out with background on page 2. The Wayne County Land Bank Corporation was incorporated by Wayne County in October 2006 through an intergovernmental agreement between Michigan Land Bank Fast Track Authority and the Wayne County Treasurer. The intergovernmental agreement established the land bank as a separate legal entity and public body corporate to administer and execute the land bank's objectives to acquire, manage, and dispose of interests in public tax reverted property, foster development of that property, and promote economic growth. Per the land bank's articles of incorporation, the land bank is managed by a 5-member board consisting of the Wayne County Treasurer or Chief Deputy Treasurer, 3 members appointed by the county executive, and 1 member appointed by the county commission. The current board members and their term expirations are in Appendix B of this report, which I think is the very last page. The intergovernmental agreement requires the county provide employees and other services to administer land bank programs. The land bank had no budget appropriation for funding from Wayne County in fiscal years 2016 through 22 and does not expect a budget for such funding for fiscal year ended 2023. The land bank is supported in whole or in part by public funds. Revenue is generated through the collection of 50% of eligible tax reverted property specific tax pursuant to the Tax Reverted Clean Title Act, as well as from sales of inventory. The land bank also sells abandoned property at affordable rates, works with nonprofit organizations and developers to provide economic support for new developments, and demolishes and maintains blighted property to create cleaner, safer neighborhoods. For financial reporting purposes, the land bank is a component unit of the county because each member of the board is either a county employee or appointed by the county, and the county is able to either directly or indirectly impose its will on the land bank. The independent external auditors report. The Land Bank Corporation received an unqualified opinion on the audited financial statements for fiscal year ended September 30, 2022 from Plantin Moran, the external auditor for Wayne County. An unmodified opinion is issued when the external auditor concludes that the financial statements taken as a whole are presented fairly in all material respects, the financial position of the entity in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. A report on internal controls over financial reporting and on compliance and other matters was provided in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards. The report identified one significant deficiency in internal controls. A significant deficiency is less severe than a material weakness, yet important enough to merit attention by those charged with the governance. Financial highlights from pages 3 to 5. The assets of the land bank exceeded its liabilities by $7,254,000 and $7,096,000 total net position for the years ended September 30, 2022 and 2021 respectively. The increase in total assets and net position for the year ended September 30, 2022 primarily relates to the land bank purchasing multiple right of first refusal properties, which are recorded at the true cash value. Non-right of refusal properties are carried at $250 per parcel. Total revenue decreased by $2,368,000, or about 61%, and program expenses decreased by $71,000, or about 5% for 2022. The decrease in revenue is the result of fewer properties acquired and sold in FY22 as compared to prior year. The slight decrease in expenditures is related to a decrease in various contracting and administrative costs. The land bank's governmental funding balance for FY22 was $7,254,000, an increase of $160,000 from the prior year. The entire amount of the fund balance, other than the portion that is non-spendable for inventory and prepaid expenses, is unassigned, which means it is available for spending at the land bank's discretion. Moving on to internal control compliance finding on page 4 of our report. The external auditors determined that the land bank did not have a process in place to ensure that inventory activity was appropriately recorded in the general ledger in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles prior to the commencement of the audit. During the audit, there were 2 right of refusal parcels identified that were not correctly recorded within the general ledger. The land bank recorded these 2 parcels and concluded that one parcel, valued at $142,000, was incorrectly included in the year-end inventory, but was disposed of in August 2022. Another parcel valued at $14,200 was incorrectly recorded as disposed of in FY22, but was not actually sold as of September 30, 2022. The net adjustment was a $127,000 increase in the year-end inventory balance and FY22 contribution revenue. The external auditors recommend the land bank place additional emphasis on reviewing the inventory transactions and reconciling the activity to the general ledger. It was the external auditor's understanding that there was a review in place, but the inventory review is done in terms of parcel counts. Since the parcels identified were errors in the opposite direction, the reconciliation did not pick up on these differences. Management agrees with the finding. A thorough discussion with responsible officials, including elected offices personnel impacted by this finding, will take place. Additional processes and procedures will be documented and implemented to ensure that all inventory is acutely accounted for and recorded in accordance with generally accepted accounting standards. Contingent liability, which was note 5, City of Highland Park versus Wayne County Land Bank. The plaintiff, City of Highland Park, seeks unpaid stormwater drainage charges assessed to properties owned by the land bank. The land bank contends that the majority of its properties in the cities are immune from the charges due to applicable state law that provides that the properties are involuntarily transferred from the county treasurer after foreclosure and lack of an interested buyer. Trial court agreed with the land bank's position and dismissed the case. The city appealed. Liability now turns on the decision of the Michigan Court of Appeals. If the Court of Appeals determines that land banks are responsible to pay stormwater drainage charges, the case will be remanded to the trial court level, where a trial on damages will take place. At this time, the outstanding liability and possible risk of judgment would be roughly $500,000. Conclusion, based on our review of external auditor's opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the governmental activities and general fund of the Wayne County Land Bank Corporation as of September 30, 2022, and the changes in its financial position for the year then ended in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the USA. It is our recommendation that the OAG's financial assessment limited review report of the Wayne County Land Bank Corporation's financial statements for the fiscal year ended September 30, 2022 is forwarded to the Wayne County Commission for receipt and filing.
Can I jump in there for a quick question relative to Highland Park? If I get this right, they're suing Land Bank for what they say is Land Bank should be charged for their stormwater retention. Is that correct?
Yes,
And is that the same city that is not paying their water sewer bills that was having the rest of the communities pay for their water and sewer bills?
yes.
So if that's the case, I mean, it's not rocket science. I mean, well, how can you, if you're not paying for what you're getting and you want to sue somebody for what's, I don't understand it. I get lost in that. Can you explain that a minute?
Well, the Highland Park is not just suing the Wayne County Land Bank, they're suing the state land bank, county, and a couple other things. Originally, the Wayne County Land Bank, some years back, won the case. Highland Park appealed the case, and now the case is back going on for storm drainage charges. As far as what they're doing with their, internal bills and things like that, I can't answer, but we're letting the legal process play out now with our corp counsel and our general counsel with the land bank.
Wow, that's really, the more you get into it, the less you know. Thank you. Thank you. Please proceed.
That concluded this presentation.
Oh, thank you. Is any questions for comments from commissioners? How many pieces of property does the land bank have in its inventory?
We have roughly about 1,200.
And does the land bank still anticipate receiving property from like the treasurer's office in the future from properties not sold at the second auction?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And the other one, and I seen it, wasn't worth interrupting, but the presentation, but has the land bank officials taken steps to ensure that all inventory is accurately accounted for and recorded in accordance with generally accepted accounting standards? That was a yes, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And that's all the questions I got. Anybody else? Commissioner Coleman.
Thank you. How many, you said that there's you have 1,600 or 1,400
Properties, we're about 1,200.
1,200, okay. How many of those 1,200 are in Detroit?
In Detroit, less than 50.
Okay.
Anybody else? Commissioner Clean, I know you got a question or comment. Oh,
Well, just to follow up on
Yeah.
that, that's because Detroit exercises their.
They have a land bank. Yeah, and they have their own land bank too.
Yeah, right, I know. That's why, so they take almost everything.
I wouldn't say that.
Right.
I think the treasurer could speak to this. I think once the property goes through auction, Detroit has offered their properties first that don't sell. And if they don't take those properties, then Wayne County Land Bank takes them.
That's true. The municipality has the opportunity first to select anything that doesn't sell. And we don't get any funding from that. We just have to give it to them at no cost.
And we're second in line.
Second in line.
Right of first refusal, right?
Only if it's in city of Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Detroit takes most. of
They
theirs.
do. They do take
That's what I'm
most of it.
saying. After
Yeah.
the second auction, they take almost everything.
Almost everything. After 2014, the city started taking everything. Because that leaves us with zero inventory, and we're very happy about
Like
that.
that. And of those 50, how many are commercial?
Less than, I think we only have about 7 commercial Detroit
really?
properties right now there.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought city was leaving some of the commercials to us.
Yeah, we only have about 7. in
Actually,
Detroit.
this year, I noticed that the city is taking a lot of commercial property
Oh, okay.
on the list.
Okay.
They're not leaving any, very few at all on the list.
Okay.
So
but I have a
Thank
question.
you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm sorry. But don't the state of Michigan have the first right of refusal?
Yes, they do.
We're
Okay.
last in.
Okay, but you said the city had the first right, but I was just correcting
Well,
you.
well,
That's-
yeah, that's
It's actually the
correct.
state and then the
It's-
city and then the county.
The
Thank
state,
you.
the state is first, of course, yeah.
But on that, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
I don't believe the state takes hardly anything.
they
They
don't.
they only take properties that
For clarification.
like right of ways, freeway, and the bridge, of course. When the bridge was they were
Yeah, yeah.
picking properties for the Gordie Howe Bridge.
Yeah, we'll suck those up.
They took a lot of that, but usually it's just dealing with roads, freeways.
Mhm.
Very seldom do they take property. Yeah.
Okay, but they still have first
Still
right.
have the first. They could take it all. They could take it all if they wanted to.
Thank you. Okay, any further questions or comments from commissioners? Okay, well, thank you very much, Mr. Treasurer and staff, and we appreciate your attendance.
Oh, yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Chair, I'll move to receive and file.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Who supported?
Ayes have it. Coleman.
Thank you.
Next item, we go back to one.
Moving back to item one, forwarding a copy of the Office of Legislative Auditor General's Financial Assessment Limited Review Report for the Health Choice of Michigan audited financial statements for the fiscal years ended September 30th, 2022 and 2021.
Ms. Cora.
We have representatives from Health Choice, if they could join us at the table. And some are already at the table. They could introduce themselves.
Morning.
Chris Johnson, Executive Director for Health Choice of Michigan.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Tim will go through this presentation.
We'll start out with background on page 2. Health Choice of Michigan was formed in 1992 by Wayne County under the Municipal Health Corporation Act of 1987 with the intention of creating a public healthcare corporation to advance and promote the health and welfare of residents in Wayne County by providing through a variety of programs and a system of contractors access to reasonably priced medical, dental, and pharmacy care to uninsured low-income working persons and their dependents. Healthcare of Michigan is directed and governed by a board of trustees consisting of 7 members, 3 Wayne County commissioners, and 4 appointees under the Wayne County Executive. The current board of trustees can be found in Appendix B. Personnel and administrative support to manage the program is provided via an intergovernmental agreement between Healthcare of Michigan and the county through the Access to Care Division under the county's Department of Health, Human and Veteran Services. The terms of the agreement began October 1, 2021 and continue through September 30, 2023. The cost of support for the fiscal years ended September 30, 2022 and 2021 totaled $643,000 and $689,000 respectively, of which $81,000 and $339,000 were outstanding as of September 30, 2022 and 21 respectively. The program is funded equally by monthly contributions from employers and employees. In early 2015, Healthcare Michigan received a letter from the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services recognizing Health Choice as minimum essential coverage for employees of participating employers and their dependents. This has allowed individuals participating in Health Choices program to avoid the shared responsibility payment imposed on individuals that do not have minimum essential coverage. In addition, this designation has allowed Healthcare of Michigan to position and market itself as an affordable healthcare coverage option for small businesses in Wayne County and the surrounding Metro Detroit area. Healthcare of Michigan is a separate legal activity from the county for which the county is financially responsible. As such, Healthcare of Michigan financial statement information is incorporated into the county's annual comprehensive financial report. The independent external auditors report are on pages 2 and 3. The corporation's independent external auditors, Gregory Terrell and Company, provided an unmodified opinion on the audited financial statements for the fiscal year ended September 30, 2022. An unmodified opinion is issued when the auditors conclude the financial statements taken as a whole are presented fairly in all material respects to the financial position of the entity in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. It is the best type of opinion an entity can receive from an external auditor. Audit and professional standards require independent auditors to provide certain communications to those charged with governance regarding matters related to the financial statement audit. Communications received from Health Choice of Michigan's Independent auditors indicated no deficiencies in internal controls and no instances of non-compliance or other matters that would require reporting under audit standards. Furthermore, auditor communication stated no significant audit findings and no disagreements with management regarding financial accounting, reporting, or auditing matters that could be significant to the financial statements or the auditor's report. Now, the financial highlights, pages 3 and 4. Net position represents the difference between total assets and total liabilities. Net position increased by approximately $1 million or 8% over prior year due to an increase in total assets, offset by a slight decrease in total liabilities. Total assets at September 30, 2022, approximately $18.8 million as compared to $17.9 million in the prior year. The increase is attributable to a $2 million increase in investments, a $200,000 increase in capital investments, offset by a $1.3 million decrease in cash and cash equivalents. Total revenues decreased by 4% or $936,000 over prior year, primarily as a result of decreased enrollment due to many factors associated with the pandemic. The pandemic hit the small business sector hard, leading to the closure of many small businesses and staffing cuts. Once business reopened, finding staff was troublesome. Furthermore, small businesses have been dealing with inflation and supply chain issues, resulting in less buying power and ultimately a decrease in the ability to hire employees and expand. Additional factors contributing to member loss relate to the growth and other options for healthcare coverage under the Affordable Care Act and Michigan Medicaid. The Affordable Care Act marketplace enrollment grew 20% from last year, while Michigan Medicaid increased enrollment 4%. Healthcare Michigan anticipates continued fluctuations in enrollment as economic uncertainty continues. Operating expenses totaled $19.2 million for FY22, consistent with prior year. With respect to budgeted amounts, actual FY22 revenues exceeded budget by approximately $5,000 and expenses came in under budget by approximately $41,000. So based on our limited review, nothing came to our attention that caused us to believe the financial report, including the audited financial statements of Healthcare Michigan, are not presented in conformance with generally accepted accounting principles. It is our recommendation that the OAG's financial assessment limited review report of the Health Choice of Michigan financial statements for fiscal year ended September 30, 2022 be forwarded to the Wayne County Commission for receipt and filing.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. So I appreciate the good numbers. I appreciate the good work you're doing. But I tend to be proactive in a sense that I see people on the sides of the roads and, homeless people looking, that don't have insurance. We get calls in our office about people that don't have insurance. As a matter of fact, I recently got a call from a lady that didn't have any dental insurance. And then I started thinking about my own. I have 2 Delta Dentals, and out of pocket, because I had some implants, I had an implant done. It cost me $3,000. And it's like, holy Toledo, that's unreal. And so I think about, for dental, somebody that needs it. So you help with the dental insurance also. And then I'm thinking about what are we doing to promote this? This basically an asset to folks that have restricted wages or no wages at all. Like, have you ever heard of ChristNet?
No, I haven't.
Well, downriver, they're a big operation for homeless people. They house them, they feed them, and they try to find them resources and jobs and whatever. But there's places like that all over the county, with the largest county in the state. Anything I can do personally or my colleagues to promote you and to get the word out of what you do as a company, I'm there. So I think the audit report was as good as any audit report can be, but there's anything we can do to help you promote the fact of what you're doing, because it is an asset to all of the county. And we need to get that out there. And then we need to work together cohesively to help those folks that are standing on the corners that don't have a job or don't have health care, don't have dental and those sorts of things, to try to plug them into some of the resources that we do have that they don't know about.
And absolutely agree with you. And so I can send each commissioner information on our program and the different programs that we operate. You spoke specifically about dental. We do have 2 standalone dental programs. It's not just for small businesses or their employees. So it's for Wayne County residents, and they're very affordable plans. You know, we're talking about either $16.50 or for a senior plan, $18 a month. So
And I appreciate that. And I will take that information and we will share that with our constituents. And I'm sure my colleagues will do the same thing. Was you pointing a finger at me, or was that you want to speak?
I wanted to add on to what you
Oh,
said.
sure. Commissioner Coleman.
So perhaps he can send it to our PR or public affairs.
Also. Mhm.
Also, and then he can include it in our newsletters.
I think it's a great opportunity. So thank you for what you're doing, and we'll all work together. And I know Commissioner Clean, don't pull on his mic unless there's a reason. Commissioner Clean?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. And I guess I'd be remiss as the treasurer of the board not to promote what we're doing here a little bit. Yeah, the health plan is an ACA compliant health plan. It is on the government list, but we do the health plan through employers. But as our director said, we do have a couple of standalone dental plans. And I think as well as the electronic, I think if you could give every commissioner a dozen brochures or stuff so that they can, instead of just putting them up on Facebook, you can walk it right to a group like you're speaking about and saying, hey, but also information, because it has been a struggle through the pandemic and with restaurants and a lot of our small businesses, but also information on the health plan itself. And if you could talk to small businesses in your district, right? If you have it, it is a very nice plan, and it's half on the employer, half on the employee. So it's reasonably priced. Back in the day, it was a third. It was a 3-share at one time. But given some financial decisions 8-9 years ago.
it was when the Affordable Care Act came out, because that funding was something that the state had.
Yeah.
But once they expanded Medicaid, then that funding bucket went away.
Yeah.
So
And it made it difficult. So we're a 2-share program now. And I'll also comment, because you asked about it, Mr. Chair. The board over the last 3-4 years has been upping our budget for not promotion, marketing. There you go, marketing budget. And so we're doing a lot more marketing than we did in the past for that exact reason, right? Do people know who we are? So, but yeah, so if you could do, Chris, both electronically and some paper to commissioner's office, and maybe even every 6 months, send a dozen down or something to keep it on people's minds. Good plan, reasonably priced. Yes, and commissioners can definitely help spreading the word around the county.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't have internet and stuff like that. And so,
Yeah.
it's just, I try to be proactive. If we can get that word out to people, it would help. It'd be a win-win. But thank you very much. A great,
One
great.
more.
Uh-oh.
One more thing.
Point your
So
finger at me.
some of us, we have neighborhood associations that we attend, or we have someone from our staff attend on a monthly basis. And if you've got brochures to hand out, that would be a good way to get them out, is you can get them to each commissioner. I don't know if they all do. I know I do. I have my community person attend every community association in my district, and make them aware of what's going on in the county. So I'll be glad to, if you want to send some to me, I'll be glad to give them to him and have him pass them out as he attends those monthly meetings.
okay, I'll absolutely get that to you.
Thank you. Anything further? Can I get a motion to receive and file?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Been moved by Commissioner Clean. Can I get a second? And supported by Commissioner Dobb. Um, Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item, Madam Clerk.
F, such other matters as may be
Uh,
properly submitted before the committee.
There are other matters. Auditor General pointed a finger at me. Yes, ma'am.
I have two items. The first item, I think every commissioner should have received a copy of the letter from the Wayne County Airport Authority yesterday regarding selection of the external auditors. As we have done in the past, the chair has referred the letter and proposals to our office. We're in the process of going through the proposals. We'll have a recommendation at the next audit committee meeting, which will make it in time for the full board. Because the commission has 30 days upon receipt of the letter to make a selection. So that'll be at the next audit committee. Then, as the chair said, Mindy's last day in the office is going to be August 1st, next Tuesday. She's been a tremendous asset to the office. I understand fully, her reasons for leaving, just wish her luck and everything that she does. And it's just going to be a tremendous hole in her office.
Yeah, I tried to ban her from leaving, but it didn't work. So we want to give you the best. We appreciate your good service to the county. So thank you very much, Mindy.
And she's not going too far. She's going to DWIN the Mental Health Authority, but she's been offered 100% remote position. So 100% remote position.
She don't have to come.
I've already expressed my displeasure to the executive director over at the Win.
Yeah,
What the
me-
hell are you doing there?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So, but anyway, next item, Madam Clerk.
Public comments.
Is there anybody from the public like to comment? I won't mention, well, you have reservations. Anybody from the public like to comment? Anybody from the public would like to comment? Last time. Okay, next item, Madam Clerk.
Adjournment.
Been moved. Is it supported? Moved and supported. Any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor?